So let me tell you why NXT is going through a rebranding. There's only three people to blame here, and that's Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. Those are the three guys we have to blame. Those three guys are the reasons that NXT became a failure during the Wednesday Night Wars. It's their fault. That's why NXT is going through a rebranding. All this talk I'm hearing about, Vince McMahon, he's trying to punish Triple H because he lost the war against AEW. Look, there's collateral damage. Not just from Triple H, but from the guys he was pushing in that Wednesday Night War. He was pushing Adam Cole down our throats. He was pushing Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano down our throats for a whole year against AEW, and he thought that was gonna be AEW. Those fucking three guys who would fail on the main roster. Those guys are supposed to scare AEW. You don't think Vince McMahon was keeping tabs on the guys Triple H was pushing? He was pushing small guys with no characters against AEW. He was pushing guys that don't look like wrestlers against AEW. Yes, those three guys killed NXT. People say, "Oh no, it was Vince McMahon." Nah, bitch, it was those three individuals who killed NXT. Adam Cole was a champion for a whole year. Within that year, it was him versus AEW. How come we're not doing the math here? Why do you think Vince McMahon doesn't want Adam Cole? Because he doesn't move the needle. Adam Cole was a part of the failure against AEW. He was part of the Wednesday Night War. He was the face of it, and he was one of the guys who failed on NXT against AEW in that little fake ass war. You don't think he's collateral damage too? Vince McMahon seen the guys H was pushing for a whole year, and he said to himself, wow, why is he pushing these guys who don't look like fucking wrestlers? No wonder we're fucking losing and getting embarrassed. These guys don't look like wrestlers. See, there's this fake notion that Vince McMahon doesn't like small guys, which is not true, actually. I think that's farther from the truth if you look at his history. Vince McMahon respects, he respects short guys, right? But he respects short wrestlers who are in shape. People say, well, look at Rey Mysterio. Well, Rey Mysterio was a short guy who was buff, who was in shape, who lived in a gym. Vince McMahon liked that. Chris Jericho, when he met Vince McMahon for the first time back in the late 90s, Jericho said he was on roids. Why? So he can impress Vince McMahon. Chris Jericho made sure he had a tight ass shirt on and he was buff so he can impress Vince McMahon. And guess what? He did. Even though Chris Jericho wasn't tall, he was like 5'10", 5'11". The hell, Vince didn't care about that. Vince only cared about the fact that Chris Jericho looked like a wrestler and he had charisma. He had my skills. He had a gimmick. He was a great entertainer. You see, Vince McMahon will give any short wrestler a hall pass if he's charismatic, if he can cut a promo, if he has a character, if he's an entertainer. he looks like a wrestler, if he's fit. Case in point, Enzo Amore. Enzo was a homegrown talent with no wrestling experience. Why did Vince like him so much? It's like, yeah, Enzo wasn't tall, but he wasn't small either. He was actually Enzo actually was a big dude. He has some muscles. Enzo was a big dude. He was stocky. He had some muscles. He had some muscles on him. He had a fit body. He wasn't tiny. Enzo had a solid, thick body. He had some muscle tone on him. He looked credible. Yes, he wasn't tall, but Enzo was like fucking 200 pounds, stocky. He had a good build on him. Nobody said he was a midget. He had some pretty good size on him. He was like, what, 200 pounds. He had some muscle tone on him. He was thick. He had a solid size for a guy of his height. I wasn't cringing looking at his physique. When I look at Adam Cole's physique, I cringe because he's so tiny and frail. Come on, man. How can you take a guy who looks like that seriously? I don't give a fuck if he can wrestle his ass off. That don't draw. You know what draws? Guys who look like superheroes. Guys who look like something. Guys who don't look like you. That's why Cole was so over with that niche NXT audience. Because he looked like them. Small, skinny ass guy who looks like he should work at fucking Starbucks. He looked like them. Why do you think they hated Karrion Kross? Because he didn't look like them. He wasn't their type of wrestler. Why? Because he looked like a grown man who could fuck you up. Karrion Kross, he had a character. He had charisma. He had a gimmick. Who cares about his fucking work rate skills? Who gives a fuck? I don't care about that. Stone Cold Steve Austin wasn't a great worker. He was mostly a great character. How many times do we have to tell you smart marks? Wrestling don't draw. Captivating storylines, larger than life personalities, promos, gimmicks, storylines. Telling stories, that what draws, not 5-star matches. The Rock is in Hollywood movies. Is he in movies because he was having 5-star matches? Is John Cena, he's a star in movies now. Is it because he was having 5-star matches? No. He has charisma. He had a character. He had a personality. Nobody give a fuck about John Cena's matches. But I mean, these past 4 years, I feel like once NXT went to USA, they got exposed. They got exposed. I'm sorry. I like Triple H as a wrestler, but I'm sorry, man. He has to take blame for what happened on Wednesday nights. He has to take blame for that. What he was doing just wasn't drawing numbers. Pushing these small guys with no character who didn't evolve, that just focused on the fucking work rate, who wasn't telling stories in the ring, who were not in captivating storylines. All he was focused on was just putting out 5-star matches, 5-star matches, 5-star matches, thinking that was gonna draw numbers. I'm like, Triple H, you are from the Attitude Era, man. You are from the Attitude Era. 5-star matches wasn't drawing in the Attitude Era. Captivating storylines, over-the-top characters was drawing in the Attitude Era. Why didn't he think about that? But that's not the point. The point is Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, Ciampa, they killed NXT. Those three motherfuckers killed NXT. Because those three guys were the faces of NXT. Why can't they take the whole blame? But let's get back to Karrion Kross versus Adam Cole. That niche NXT fan base hated Karrion Kross. Why? Because he didn't look like them. He wasn't them. He wasn't indie enough. He was too main roster-ish. This is why Adam Cole should take the blame for NXT failing. He was the world champion during those wars, right? Not Karrion Kross. Remember, Karrion Kross, he won the title against Keith Lee. Then he forfeited it the following week because he was injured. That was during the Wednesday Night War, so Karrion Kross didn't even have a long reign to even go against AEW. And when they moved away from Wednesday nights and went to Tuesday, Karrion Kross wasn't even champion for a long time before they went to Tuesdays. So you can't blame him for NXT not drawing numbers against AEW. You can't blame him. No, you gotta blame Finn Balor. You gotta blame Adam Cole. Guys like that, these fucking indie work rate machines who don't really have captivating characters to draw in numbers, who don't really have a star appeal to draw in numbers. You see, Vince McMahon, he's finally waking up. Triple H never wanted NXT to be developmental. Do you know why? Why the fuck would he put Bobby Roode, who was pushing 40 years old, in NXT? Bobby Roode was a TNA legend with national television experience. He had no business in developmental. That's like putting Bobby Roode in FCW. That's like putting Bobby Roode in OVW, pushing 40 years old. Triple H wanted his own promotion. He never seen NXT as a developmental. It was a developmental when Seth Rollins was there, Big E was there, Big Cass, Bray Wyatt, Enzo. It was a farm system when they were there, and then for some reason Triple H got power hungry, and he wanted his own company. He wanted his own promotion. That's why those takeover shows back in 2018, 2019, 2017, he was trying his best to outdo the main roster to prove to Vince that, hey, I'm a better boss than you. And I think that's one of the reasons why Vince McMahon was burying all of Triple H's guys that he was pushing. I think that's why Karrion Kross got buried in his first 3 weeks on Raw, because he was still linked with NXT. Now he's no longer in NXT. Now all of a sudden Karrion Kross is being pushed now, huh? Vince wanted to prove a point. That's why Kross was losing. To make Triple H look bad. That's just my opinion. But bruh, Johnny Gargano been in fucking NXT for like 5 to 6 years, man. That's pathetic. Bruh, NXT ain't forever. NXT is a pit stop until you go to the main roster. It's not a permanent destination. It's not a promotion. It's not a company. It's the minor leagues. It's OVW. It's FCW. It's not forever. It's the minor leagues. Why are you still there, hogging up TV time away from guys who are trying to get over? Why is Gargano still on TV And there's up and coming wrestlers in that performance center who want to get on TV. Why is he still there? That's why NXT is going through a rebranding to eliminate that crap. Stop having guys stay in NXT for like fucking 10 years. That's not what it's there for. It's there to develop talent. It's not SmackDown. It's not Raw. NXT is supposed to build you up to that next level. You're not supposed to stay at that level. Same goes for fucking Ciampa. Bruh, if you don't want to go to the fucking main roster, just ask for your fucking release. Go back to ROH. Take your ass back to RO fucking H, man. If you hate the main roster that bad. Because, nigga, NXT is wrestling school. That's what Randy Orton said on Twitter. NXT is wrestling school. Cody Rhodes said NXT is wrestling school. Nigga, you've been a wrestler for over 20-something years, it feels like. Why are you still in developmental? You see, that's what Nick Khan wants to crack down on. Guys like that. 10 years, 15 years experience. Nigga, why are you in fucking NXT? You see, that's a Triple H issue. Why fucking Samoa Joe is 40-something years old? Why is he NXT champion? If it's developmental, what is Joe developing? When it's all said and done, Joe will be in the TNA Hall of Fame. He's a legend. Why is he carrying around a developmental title in the minor leagues? You see? Why was Bobby Roode sent to NXT even though he was pushing 40 years old? NXT is supposed to be for guys with little wrestling experience. If you've been in wrestling for over 5 to 10 years or more, you shouldn't be in NXT. It's a waste of time. What are you learning that you don't already know? That's why Triple H never looked at NXT as a developmental. He got greedy. He wanted his own promotion. That's why he was signing all these old guys who should be on the main roster. Bobby Roode should have started out on the main roster just like AJ Styles. Same as fucking Joe. Same as Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe should have never been in fucking NXT. Shinsuke Nakamura should have never been in NXT. That dude was pushing 40 years old too. Why are you going to developmental? You are a very experienced wrestler. So I have no issue with Vince McMahon, Bruce Prichard, Nick Khan finally putting their foot down and finally doing a investigation on Triple H and his priorities on how he was booking NXT. Pushing small, tiny guys like Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano. Over here pushing guys in their late 40s, over here pushing guys in their late 30s, early 40s in NXT, even though it's fucking developmental. With tons of wrestling experience. Those guys were taking away spots from young, up-and-coming wrestlers. That's what I always had a problem with. Why was Bobby Roode in NXT? Why was Eric Young in NXT? I always had these questions. Why was Bobby Fish in NXT to begin with, even though he was fucking pushing 40 years old? What is he developing? NXT is wrestling school. Why can't people understand that it's OVW with a different name? So yes, I love the new direction of NXT. My thing is, if you have under 5 years of wrestling experience, then yes, you should go to NXT. You should go to NXT because you still have a lot to learn still. But if you've been wrestling for like 5 years or more, your ass should be on the fucking main roster. I mean, what are you learning that's new? What don't you already know if you are 10 years of experience? And this rumor about Vince wanting guys in NXT to be bigger, taller. No, that's a lie. Don't believe those reports. Vince McMahon don't give a fuck about your size as long as you are in shape. Don't give me that bullshit. Vince McMahon has no problems with small wrestlers. He just don't like wrestlers who are not fit. He don't like wrestlers who are not muscular. And bro, this is pro wrestling, man. No skinny guys allowed. The wrestling business was built on huge, larger than life characters who didn't look like the average man. Vince McMahon became a billionaire because of larger than life characters who didn't look like the average man. I mean, look at Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels wasn't big, but okay, Shawn Michaels was short, but he had muscles. He looked like a wrestler. He looked like a fucking athlete. Chris Benoit was short, but he had muscles. He looked like an athlete. So don't give me this bullshit about, oh, Vince only wants guys who are 6'5", 6'6", fucking 300 pounds. No, that ain't true. I need proof of that. Because Eddie Guerrero was fucking 5'8", but he had muscles. He was jacked. He looked like a wrestler. He looked like an athlete. He looked like he could fuck you up. Kurt Angle was 5'10". He was pushed. Why? Because he looked like an athlete. How hard is that to comprehend? Adam Cole been in NXT for fucking 5 years. How come he still looks the same? What the fuck were you doing all this time, bro? Besides playing fucking video games. It's like, hey, bruh. Y'all can talk all the shit y'all want about guys from the mid-90s when it came to them taking drugs, this or that. But hey, at least they still find time to hit the fucking gym. I don't give a fuck how high Shawn Michaels was. That nigga took time to hit the fucking gym and look like a wrestler. So why would NXT beat AEW in ratings if Triple H is pushing guys who look like they work at fucking Starbucks? Like, why? It's like, huh? That don't make sense. So I agree with the direction of NXT, the rebranding. I fucking get it. Guys like Ciampa who don't want to go to the main roster, yeah, bruh, you are part of the problem. You don't want to grow? You want to be in wrestling school for the rest of your life? That's fucking depressing. Like, what are you there for? I mean, don't you want to move up? Why do you want to be there and you see guys like Keith Lee, Priest, Cross moving up to the main roster and trying to improve their position in the company? I don't care if they're buried or not. At least try, man. This is pro wrestling. Nobody wants to be complacent. Yes, I agree with the new direction. Get those guys out of there, man. If you don't want to grow as a wrestler, don't go to the WWE. Stay your ass on the fucking indies, man. Yes, those boy, Gargano, Cole, Ciampa, they killed NXT. Because every week, those guys' faces are on TV in storylines on that show. What was it drawing in? What was Adam Cole drawing? Looking the way he looked. Like, hell no, Vince McMahon didn't offer him no fucking contract. Why? So, I released Bray Wyatt to resign Adam Cole. I released Braun Strowman to resign Adam Cole. Cole was the reason NXT failed. Like, nah, man, don't give me that bullshit, man. I always felt like NXT was extremely overrated, like a motherfucker. Why? Have you noticed? Look at that roster of AEW. They have at least 4 former NXT champions on their roster. Pac, Andrade, fucking Malachi Black, and soon Adam Cole. That's sad to me. That's sad to me. That's a problem. That's an issue. So no, don't give me that bullshit of, oh, Vince McMahon don't like small wrestlers. He doesn't want any more midgets. No, that ain't true. Chris Jericho ain't no midget. He just short, but he was always a big guy. Vince McMahon, his mindset is, okay, if you're short, bring something else to the table. Like a Enzo. Like a Jericho, like a Shawn Michaels. Show some charisma. Look like a wrestler. Hit the fucking gym. Be a character. Be entertained. Don't just focus on your work rate to get you over. That's why the audience in NXT hated Karrion Kross. Because he was the embodiment of what Vince McMahon looked for in a fucking wrestler. So that's just so. To make a long story short, man, I love the new direction. You gotta start pushing guys with little wrestling experience. You gotta start pushing guys who look like wrestlers. Height don't matter. Cause look at Ray. Height don't matter. No, bro, don't give me that crap. It's not about that. If Adam Cole was built like, I don't know, Buddy Murphy, yes, Adam Cole would still be there. If he was built like a fucking wrestler, yeah, he would still be there. But, I mean, come on, man. Why would anybody make an effort, especially in the WWE, on resigning Adam Cole? Like, why? He's a fucking dime a dozen. Start pushing athletes who need to be pushed. Stop pushing the same regular guys who've been there for 5 years. Those guys should be out making room for the next batch of up and coming wrestlers. That's all, man.